All right, I think we're live. Woo!
Yay!
Yes! Congratulations. Oh, and Sarah's here. Hey, Sarah.
Just in the nick of time.
All right, everybody. This is we're live, by the way, Sarah. I don't know if you saw.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Howdy.
Welcome. Cool. So we just wanted to have a chat. Wanted to welcome everybody to our chat because I want to feel more of a community. We're making theater. We have never been in the same room together rehearsing this show. So this is really, really exciting. Oh, okay. We already have our first question. Wonderful.
Oh, that's awesome.
So Lana said, did filming virtually create many challenges? All right. Great question. All right. So yeah. Sarah, you wanted to go?
I'm happy to tackle this. I think one of the hardest things about filming virtually, and I'm sure a lot of people in the cast will relate, is you can be as prepared as you want. You can have all your lines known. You can be in costume, but your internet connection is not your friend. And it will make or break whether you're on time or not, or whether your video is glitchy. And I think there's a lot of separate things that even though you're bringing all your talent as an actor, there's just some things that aren't in your hand. And I think this media makes you very much just go with the flow and have to accept that things will not always go right. And just whenever your camera does come on, just try to do as best as you can.
Yeah, and no matter how nice you are to your internet, every single one of us had tech issues once or twice for sure. And muting and unmuting and all that fun stuff.
Another challenging thing was that the directions were, you were supposed to point to someone who's supposed to be there. So that was a bit of a game.
Hug Jabber, I would always have to decide which way to go. Jabber, you told me that cool trick of scratching the back of your neck so you know which side to go. I thought that was really good.
Everyone's gonna rewatch this and see how many times people in the cast.
Hold on. Oh, he's over there.
Yeah, I noticed during my scenes that Adam was supposed to be to my right, but he was actually on my left. And a few times I noticed my eyes going to the left because, the only way I could play the thing was to talk to myself because I was on the right. So to look like I was talking to Adam, I had to look at myself, which was a little unnerving, I think.
Well, what you don't want to do as an actor,
Yeah, sorry. Taking our backpacks and passing the backpacks around, that was a lot of fun. It's not the most trickiest part. Or the passport, just putting the passport over and stuff.
The magic. We got someone saying, Zero was saying, I was thinking about how hard it probably was when you guys are doing stuff like giving the backpack. Yeah, most of our rehearsal was prop work. It was the most, we're just right now, let's practice passing this thing over and over again.
Here, Sarah, take this. I have something for you.
Oh, thanks.
And I don't know if it's just this program, but for some reason, if I'm going to my right on the video, I'm going left. So it's kind of mirrored, I guess. Yeah. So right now I'm moving left, but on my video I'm moving right. It's super confusing.
Yeah, it was total brain gym for sure. It's and you're looking at yourself, which is what you're not really used to doing as a performer. Is you're looking at your scene partner and you're also looking at yourself, but it's all happening in this screen. It's 100 dimensions. It's it just feels So it's really, really interesting.
And the funniest part is when I had to walk away from somebody and I'm walking towards them, but if I'm going the wrong direction, but see you later, and it looks like I'm walking headbutting them or something. So. That was interesting too. A lot of fun.
For sure. I also wanted to let everybody know that's watching that we actually have Adam the playwright here. Adam, say hello.
Hi, everyone. Hi.
Hey.
So what was your experience like? We did a lot of prop work. You worked with me and Jessica, who couldn't be here tonight, writing this play. This is your first play. Want to share about your experience?
Absolutely. Well, first, I mean, it was fantastic to watch it tonight. Like, it was really, it was surreal, but it was actually, I was calm. I was relaxed. I'd watched a few of the dress rehearsals, and that was kind of nerve-wracking for me. It was like it's hard to see, like, things you wrote down that are so personal and sort of come to life. So it was a little overwhelming for me. But tonight was just so amazing. I really got into it. Everyone did a fantastic job. Yeah, I mean, I think the answer to that is it's in the story, right? It's I come to a place in my life right now, like it's about the obstacles, right? I've never been a writer, yet I have two people who approached me, Sarah and Jess, asked me to do this. So they believed in me, and that's all I had to concentrate on, was they believed in me. I didn't believe in me, but it was tough. But like I said, obstacles the way, and when we had our allotted time to do it, I made sure I did it. And some advice I had gotten from a couple friends I've made recently is, what writing is, it is a release, and when it comes, it's your story, right? So just write, hand to heart, pen to paper, man, and that's kind of what I did here. So yeah, it was amazing. It's an amazing experience.
And one thing I want to add, Adam, I remember you mentioned that when you were asked to write your play, your first reaction was no, and that's when you realized that this is.
Yeah.
That's when you realized you need to do this.
I'll never forget that night too, because Jess had sort of reached out and saying, "Look, this is what I'm working on, and this is opportunity we have." And she says, "You're one of the first guys that came to mind, right?" So yeah, I just responded saying, "Absolutely not." But since I'm saying no, that really means yes. So, all right, I'm in. Fine. Tell me when and where, I'll be there.
Wow.
Yeah. So here we are.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. Yes, going towards like the things that scare you. It's incredible. And look, like, see, you like what came out of it is just like it was meant to be. So that's really exciting. And I love that it was the journey too. And I know I say this story all the time, but in like the beginning of the process of working with Adam, he was like, I don't know, like I wanted to tell my literal story, but like I don't know if I can use metaphors and all this kind of stuff. And he was like, does this seem kind of cheesy or whatever? And then in the end, like but the metaphors were calling him, and then he wrote this like really cool story that's got these like Alice in Wonderland elements and like Wizard of Oz and this like hero's journey in his own way, and it's really, really cool.
And I really enjoyed how it was sort of like every person and every character in the story somehow like helped Adam in the end get to where he was. It was again like a huge journey through each character, and then finally realizing what he has to do. And I thought, the story was written really, really well.
Right on. Thanks, Brandon. You nailed it. I mean, it's. I think the two most important things that come out of there is sort of the not being alone and the we. I think we was intentionally probably the most written word in this play, and that's the key for me, right? Is just to know I'm not alone, and we's my favorite word in the dictionary.
Oh.
And what it does for a lot of other people, it kind of inspires them, right, to come forward and be brave in that sense, which is also really, really nice.
Yeah, it's not easy to share a story and come from such a real place, but I think it's wonderful that you did, and I really hope people tonight were inspired or touched by it. And overall, I'm just really thankful that you trusted us enough to bring it out, because I think if you write from a real place, it's gonna affect people, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate that.
And it's a very common feeling that people feel like they're alone.
Yeah.
And they feel like they're the alone wolf and no one's really helping them. They're just doing it themselves. But if you kind of take time to think, sometimes you realize there are people supporting you and people that do love you, and you do have a team to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
I find it's kind of so beautiful that there's like these dichotomies going on, that like this this show becomes about this solo journey that's also about community, and we're we've built this community. I really feel like this connection with these folks.
Yeah.
Really true.
Yeah.
That I have never met. I've never met Adam, and I've never met this cast. Brandon and I actually have worked together, but other than that, I have actually never been in the same room with anybody else. So it's interesting that the play is about community and like building this community and going on a solo journey, finding community, and we're separated yet building this community. And also it's like it's this journeying, like we're traveling and walking, and yet all of us are sitting in front of our screens and performing this piece. So it was like we came up against all these like interesting dichotomies and obstacles in order to make it, I feel. So it's kind of like so interesting in this. Everything's very interesting during this time.
Yeah, remember obstacles such as the fading, where you just turn into and just slowly fade away, and then you come back, and then it's just a lot of
So
stuff.
even the process of sort of writing this and then just being involved in more than just the writing, it's kind of it's similar to the play itself. Was I came in here or sort of my journey, but you know what, I came in under the intention of sort of just writing this thing, and here you go. It's kind of like you're going to be amazed before you're halfway through, and then I get the writing part done, and then all of a sudden I'm involved in the casting as well, which was so cool to sort of go through this. Sarah, thank you very much. But to be part of that, like I remember those nights where you guys were auditioning, or there were so many auditions too.
Oh wow.
But sort of rushing home from work and sort of being excited to see everyone, and then really making that connection with you guys. Because obviously, we kind of regrouped after seeing everybody. It was a tough decision, and then Sarah kind of just reached out to me by email. It's like, okay, we have to make a decision tonight. Email me everyone you think, and I wrote you guys, and then she had the same list, and it was just remarkable to be able to connect like that, right? So, yeah, it was really special, man.
Yeah. Sorry, Sarah, were you going to say something?
No, please go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's interesting. Casting is really interesting, and casting like on Zoom and like doing all of that. It was kind of neat that we intimately knew and understood the piece, and then we found the actors that also just connected to the piece, and we both agreed on the exact same actors. I said, "Who do you think?" And he was like, "I think this is this. Who do you think?" And I was like, "I think those are the exact people I think as well." It was kind of really interesting.
And again, that's after deliberation, right? Because it was like I had to actually kind of meditate on it, because it was like after I saw everyone's audition, I was like, she's perfect, he's perfect, no, she's perfect. So it was only until I kind of like relaxed and really started listening with my heart, right? So and then here you guys are.
Yeah, we had a lot of great actors come in. Really true. Like I know people say this kind of stuff. They're like, well, acting's hard because, there's a lot of great people out there and that kind of stuff. Really. Like when you're sitting behind the casting, you're like, okay, everybody's amazing. So it just comes down to, what feels like.
What feels right,
What feels right. It was very like intuitive for us because everybody was good. So
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I speak for everybody. We're very flattered and very appreciative of the experience.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's such a positive, hopeful
Message.
Play that message, and it leaves you feeling really good. There's this wonderful transformation of the character, supported all along the way by wonderful people in different ways. So I think it's a wonderful play.
I do agree. Yeah.
Wow.
Agreed. And I don't think people talk about like the journey of recovery in the way that you do. I find that that's so fascinating, the way you look at the journey of recovery and how it's this community act and how there are certain people along your way that propel you forward, and also like the way you have to face yourself and how you have to face your past. So I just love the metaphor of the way you presented it, because it's it was like this step-by-step beautiful illustration of recovery and the difficulty of recovery, but also like the beauty of recovery and what you discover on that journey about yourself. So lovely. Yeah.
Wow.
I even loved all the quotes about like saying sorry, like how to say it properly. You have to mean it and actually show it. Like I thought all of those were such important things to add as well. And I also just really love the whole idea of like you have to go through obstacles. I feel like everyone here has probably felt that sense of like, oh, it'd just be so much easier to sit at home and do nothing. But it's like even this tackling an online play is an obstacle in and of itself.
Yes.
And I think sometimes you have to just go ahead and be like, yeah, we're going to try it. Because if you never do, you never know what you're capable of. And then, I don't know, we're sitting here now, we've all finished it. And I don't know, I'm having a big sense of like, I'm so proud of everyone and everything that we've achieved. Because this was a big undertaking. And if we hadn't gone through the obstacle and done the hard way, we wouldn't have been here, you know?
I love hearing you talk.
Obstacle is the way.
Yeah. You know, I think of Sam when I hear that. Obstacle is the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we all kind of now know when we're afraid of making a decision towards one part, that's maybe the one we need to make. That's the one that's going to have the most growth in a way.
Yeah, I love that. See, we've all taken a lesson from it. I love it.
Look at us. We're awesome.
If anyone watching has any questions, I know we had a few questions. Lana says, thanks. Despite the obstacles of filming virtually, great performance, everyone. And Zero says, with these cool settings like the airport and the mouse door, thank you. That was me.
That was really good.
Lana says, agreed. Really well written.
The mastermind just in the back, just making everything happen.
I honestly, talking about fears and obstacles, before this, I always say, like, I mean, this whole year and a half has been a whole transformation for me, because I say, like, if I could talk to Sarah back in early March, I don't even think I would recognize that person. I would never produce a virtual anything. I don't know how to use any of social media, nothing. I learned everything so quickly. And yeah, I've surprised everybody. I surprised myself. And this, like, technology gives me the most anxiety, and I can't believe I produced this. So there you go. The obstacle is away.
Here's something I found really interesting about this play. Now, I don't know if this was on purpose or not, but in the past, when I have seen stories that speak about recovery, speak about coming through a difficult time, there's usually a bit of a religious aspect to it, which I find doesn't always work. Well, not work, but doesn't always echo with all the viewers that may be there. This story, on the other hand, was very different in that sense, coming from that perspective where it will appeal regardless of your background, regardless of your culture, whatever it is. The story will appeal to you because it's about a human journey rather than, a journey of a person with this baggage. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no cultural baggage, there's no religious baggage. It's just me, the person that has this journey, and it's a difficult journey. And this is, these are the things that I went through, sort of a thing. So I found this to be a very, very profound aspect to this that I really connected with somehow.
And just letting you understand, like, I really enjoy how all of us kind of feel affected by this story. And personally, for me, when I watch a movie, a TV show, whenever it kind of like relates to me, I always just feel more connected to it. You feel like you want to listen to it, and yeah, you just kind of come out of there learning something. And this is one of those plays where it kind of affects a lot of people, and that's what I really enjoy about it.
Yeah.
Great.
Wow.
That's my boy.
Yeah.
You tell him. You tell him, buddy.
That's my boy.
Brandon's like, you talk
Look
back.
at you.
Good stuff.
Right on. No, it's Sam. You kind of I like that you brought that up, and to be honest, you know what? It wasn't intentional to sort of not me. And the thing is, and I mean, it's about finding my voice too, right? And I mean, the voice is always there, right? And it's listening to the right one, right? And religion and culture, that's kind of what's in the baggage, in the backpack, right? It's kind of like, these are things that have been instilled in me, right? Like, this is what religion is, which then I just automatically interpret as spirituality. And until I realized, like, oh my God, they're totally different. So that God concept kind of went to the wayside. And I'm not saying forever, But for now, I sort of had to make a connection with spirituality and not religion. And that was a huge breakthrough for me, right? So for me, like God, for lack of a better term, or like a power greater than me, were these connections I was making when I was desperate for change, right? I wanted what Sam wanted, right? So I'm going to do what Sam does. That's my connection, right? So no, I'm glad you brought that up because it wasn't intentional, but in a way, it's my story. So I guess it is. Yeah.
Totally. I think, Joe, you were saying something.
Yeah, just based off of what Sam was saying, like I definitely agree in the sense where like it can be super relatable to all kinds of people coming from anywhere. Just because I think baggage or just that all of those things that we carry on the inside, I think even if it's a small thing that you carry, we're always so protective, right? And it's so hard to be vulnerable. And at any point in life, right, just to come forward and have those conversations. So absolutely, I think that anyone on any term can relate to Adam.
Yeah, and Joe, I can agree with you for sure. When I was going through a script, I found a lot of stuff very relatable, even with the dad and the father, or even when Joe goes through the small door and I couldn't do it. And in life, sometimes we're like, well, how can they do it and we can't do it? What's going on? What's wrong with me? And just then you eventually you work your way in. It just so many small ways. I'm pretty sure that everyone that watched today saw places that they can relate to, for sure.
Yeah. And even though it's your story, Adam, I think you made it very accessible to the human condition and what people feel every day. Yeah. And that's where the metaphors came in and made it really easy to be like, I know exactly how that feels, what that feeling is. And even though our story isn't a complete parallel of yours, we can still relate to so many aspects of it. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, that's kind of one of the things I was worried about, and Sarah kept reassuring me that it is relatable, and it's nice to hear you guys say that. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's got good input.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. Somewhere in the period of time that I've been involved in this project, I feel like I've let go of some baggage from my past, some habits that weren't serving me at all well, and had been with me for a long time. And there was definitely letting go of a couple of pretty important things that have, touch wood at least, made me feel lighter and happier. And so it's been a gift for me as well.
Wow. Right.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that. Theater has changed.
Thank you. Yeah.
I love it. The baggage, it's like, and also just like being able to give it to other people to carry. Like, yeah, it's just, I mean, I feel like I relate to that so much because like that's what my whole idea behind, telling stories and having people write plays is like, let's make a space where like we can hold this for you, or we can hold it together. And hopefully, that helps other people open up and be able to hold and share and build community. So, yeah.
I like the message that it's okay to have help as well, because sometimes people want to hold your baggage. They want to help you. And you're like, why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
And
yeah, particularly like, you meet Sam and like within, the first few minutes, he's like, let me take it. I'll carry it with you. I'll walk with you. And it's like, so why? Yeah.
What's the catch here, buddy?
What's the catch? Because we're so used to being like, told that the world is like individualistic and we have to kind of decide it by ourselves, and not to burden anyone else. But some people, that's what we're here for. We're here to carry each other's baggage.
Yeah,
so true.
Joe?
Yeah, and that's kind of where that part of where I kind of learned about humility versus humiliation, right? And a lot of people, I mean, it's the same thing. Right. And it's like, oh my God, they're totally different, man. And that's the humility part, right? To be able to actually, someone offering or is willing to help, like with nothing in return, that's a crazy feeling, man. Like I got goosebumps right now, right? And that's kind of what I've had in my life. But yeah, it takes takes a lot of humility
Yeah.
to be able to do that, man. And yeah.
It also takes a lot of strength, Adam, I think, because
Yeah.
I understand the humility aspect, but the strength aspect comes because you always have this natural suspicion that you have to overcome, and overcoming that requires a certain level of strength that you have to build, I guess, by just, going through what ails you, if what ails you is a fear, So that really resonated.
Yeah. I appreciate that. And, yeah, I mean, and that's kind of, and then in terms of the destinations, and that's, you mentioned strength, but yeah, I mean, those are the pillars of my life today, right? It's hope, tomorrow is a better day, and the truth and the courage, right, to face it, right? So.
Yeah, Adam, I love the scene where I'm telling John that everything's all right. Yeah, I wake up in the morning, I smile in the mirror, and I'm happy. He's like, cut the bullshit.
That's as real as an event as it can get. and multiply it by about 1,000 times. Yeah, everything's great. I got this.
Haven't we all performed?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But I do agree, like hopefulness, not saying like everything's great now, but being like things will get better. Like that is a very important mindset to have. And I hate to talk about like the elephant in the room with COVID, but that is kind of what's kept me going through, is like things will get better, things will open up, there will be new opportunities, this one being one of those new opportunities. And I think it is always important to think about what are the positives even throughout the negatives, because I mean humanity's gone on for how many years it has, but there is always a tomorrow, there is always another day, whatever that will look like. So it is important to keep your head up and go, you know what, today might have not been the best, tomorrow will be better. I'm going to have that hope. And I think that's an important thing to do. And I like that was something that was explored throughout the play as well.
Right on.
Yeah, Sarah. And your best is going to be different every day. Sometimes your best would be 10 kilometers or whatever you're running. Someday your best is just stretching to make sure you can walk later.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, so I'll give it like 2 more minutes if anyone who's watching wants to pop in any questions for us or for Playwright Adam, who is also here. Yeah, please do. But otherwise, thank you all so very much. Let's do this. This is one of my favorite things to do in any sort of workshop. And by the way, still type your questions if you have them. But we'll wrap up with this. One word. Everybody's going to say just one word that they've been left with, that they feel right now, whatever. It doesn't matter. Don't over intellectualize it. So one word. Okay, I'll go first. Fulfill. All right, I'm going to go to Harold.
Courage.
Sam. Ali.
Courage for me as well.
Awesome. Joe.
Open.
Oh, love it. Jabber.
Excitement.
Yes. Brandon.
Hope.
Amazing. Sarah.
Grateful.
Beautiful. And Playwright Adam.
Grateful.
Grateful as well.
Grateful as well, yes.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight for the show and for the talk back. There's another show tomorrow. Please also check that out. That's another story as part of Flip the Stage by Luke, and it's totally different. So it's really exciting to watch what Luke also created. But everybody have a wonderful night. Bye.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.